Hello everyone, welcome to Dikshant classes. Today I am going to discuss about the environment scanning. Here the question arises, what is environment scanning? Environment scanning is a process in which business organizations, industrial organization, sole proprietor or partnership firms are scanning the environment in which the business will operate. Business will operate in a society and business is using the resources of a society, so it is necessary to do work in the welfare of society, and businesses scan the environment, what strategies are adopted by the competitor and what policies implemented by the competitor, what products are is used to be used by the competitor, what are the innovations and how the innovation will be used. And business environment scanning is determine the opportunities and threats which is exist in the business, and what is the strength and weakness, how the strength will help to reduce the weakness, and how it is converted into the opportunities, and how to reduce the threats. Next is approaches for environmental scanning. There are three approaches: systematic approach, head of approach, or process approach. First is systematic approach. Systematic approach is approach in which the business organization is systematically collect the information for scanning an environment. Different type of information related to market, competitor, supplier, customer, and then the regulations, etc., may have direct impact on the organization businesses. So it is closely required to monitor and determine relevant facts and figures. This type of approach is best suitable for the strategic management activities and operational tasks. Next is head of basis approach. It is one of the important type of approach for environmental scanning, in which organization is conducted a special survey and on a head of basis related to environmental issues. This type of studies or survey may be considered while initiating the new projects or the update the current strategies. Next is secondary information approach. It is one of the important approach of environmental scanning, in which the approach consists of the use of the processed formed and for information which is collected from the different internal and external environment, the government agencies, educational institutes, etc. So in this approach, information is obtained from secondary resources. Next is FERA and Fema. What is FERA? Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, where Fema is Foreign Exchange Management Act. First we discuss about the FERA 1973. It is Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, and it is comes in the year of 1973. Then FERA was promulgated in the year 1973, and it is came into the force in the year January 1, 1974. As the name itself defined as is a Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. It regulates the foreign currencies of foreign currencies or an Indian currency not to go for outflow to the other country. The principal objective of this the act is to prevent the outflow of Indian currencies and to see that the foreign exchange legitimately due to India should be received. Next is main objectives of the act. To regulate the certain payment, this act is regulate the certain type of payments. To regulate dealing in the foreign exchange and securities. And to regulate the transactions indirectly affect the foreign exchange. To regulate import and export of the currencies and bullions. To conserve the foreign exchange reserves of the countries and the same in the interest of the economic development of the countries. To regulate the holding of the immovable properties outside India, and to regulate employment of foreign nationals, to regulate acquisitions, holdings of immovable properties in India by non-resident, to regulate foreign companies. Next is FERA 1970. Let's continue on. The Act applies to the whole of India and citizen of India, India, outside India. And next is Foreign Exchange Regulation Act 1973. The Act applies to the whole of India and citizens of India, outside India, and branches and agencies outside India, of companies or corporate bodies registered in India. Provisions under this Act. Foreign Exchange Regulation Act authorized only RBI to deal with the foreign exchange transactions. Restriction on payments, restriction on import and export of currency, restriction on immovable properties, etc. How the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act replaced with the Foreign Exchange Management Act. FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. Foreign Exchange Management Act in 1999 emerged as a replacement or say an improvement over the old Foreign Exchange Management Act 1970, Regulation Act 1973. Foreign investors hear the term FERA, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, and FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act when they deal with India. As the name specifies, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act lays emphasis on the regulation of the currencies where the FEMA manages foreign exchange. The first and foremost difference between FERA and FEMA is the former requires previous approval of Reserve Bank of India, which is the Central Bank of India approvals, where the latter does not require Reserve Bank of India approval except when the transaction is related to foreign exchange. Next is Foreign Exchange Management Act. It is an act which is passed by the Parliament of India as a statutory act, and it consolidated and amended the law related to foreign exchange with the objective of facilitating external trade and payments and promoting the orderly development and maintenance of the foreign exchange market in India. It was passed on 29 December 1999 in Parliament and replacing the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. This act makes offences related to foreign exchange civil offences extend to the whole of India. It replaced FERA, which has become incompatible with the pro-liberalization of Government of India. It enables a new foreign exchange management regime consistent with emerging framework of the World Trade Organization. It also the pave way for introduction of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, which came into effect from 1st July 2005. Next is Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. What is FEMA? Foreign Exchange Management Act. What does FEMA mean? Foreign Exchange Management Act is an act of the Parliament made in 1999 to amend the law related to foreign exchange. What are FEMA objectives? To facilitate external trade and payments, to promote the orderly development and maintenance of foreign exchange market in India. Which act did FEMA replace? FEMA has replaced the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act 1973. Why FEMA replaced FERA? FERA, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, has become incompatible with the pro-liberalization policies of the Government of India, while FEMA enabled a new foreign exchange management regime that is consistent with the emerging framework of the World Trade Organization. The tenor and tone of the FEMA was very drastic. It required imprisonment even for the minor offences, while FEMA make offences related to foreign exchange civil offences. Who exercise authority under FEMA? FEMA enables the Reserve Bank of India, which is a central bank, and central government to pass the regulations and rules related to foreign exchange. And it was come in force on 1st June 2000. The The legal framework and administration of the exchange control in India is provided by the Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. FEMA came into force on 1st June 2000. The main objective is to consolidate and amend law relating to foreign exchange with the objective of facilitating external trade and payment and promote the orderly development of foreign exchange market in India. FEMA is applicable to all parts of India. This act is also applicable to all the branches, offices, agencies outside India owned and controlled by the person who is resident of India. FEMA has replaced FERA, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act 1973, which has become incompatible after the economic reforms and pro-liberalization policies of the government. FEMA was drafted to create a more liberal foreign exchange market in India. It increases the deregulation of the foreign exchange and smooth international trade. Thank you so much for listening carefully. If you have any doubt, any query, you should comment it. I will surely make videos. Thank you so much.